Yo, 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 what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, Tbkc, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Oh, man, it's early. Y'all forgive me. Let me tell y'all this, man. I know I'm getting a lot of messages about the fight last night. Deontay Wilder, not the greatest performance, that's for sure. And it is what it is. I think with the sport of boxing, like many other things, when you're great, people wait for you to not be great so they can talk bad about you. That's just the way it is. That's always a significant thing. If you got a bunch of people who always want to talk shit about you, it tells you your significance in whatever sport it is that you do or whatever thing you do in life. The thing that we're looking at, and most people don't want to do it because it satisfies their thirst to talk bad about Wilder, is Wilder is 38 years old now. Most fighters deteriorate after 35. Some of them before 35, you know what I mean? Wilder went over 40 fights without ever losing a fight. I think all but one or two of those fights were by knockout. Then he had a couple pretty epic battles there with Tyson Fury that he came out on, one draw and then a couple short ends on the fights. Fought his ass off, though. He fought with some heart, but at the end of the day, you start to lose some. We've seen it with Roy Jones, who, after Roy Jones was knocked out in his 30s, he was never the same fighter. We've seen it with Manny Pacquiao. I can go on and on down the list of fighters that we've seen dominate an era, and they get into their 30s and they end up getting beat, most of the time knocked out, and they're not the same fighter. Wilder is not the same fighter, and I'll break it down like this for everybody who's asking me questions, and I thank y'all for caring about my opinion on this. Now, y'all follow this because some of y'all, no. Wilder, to me, is a lot like Pacquiao, and he's a lot like Roy Jones in this aspect. Not just to get knocked out and then, and then your career starts to go downhill. But there are a lot of parallels because when those fighters got beat, they were all, definitely well past 30. The next thing that you have to think about is that these were fast twitch fighters. Roy Jones, very fast twitch. Manny Pacquiao, very fast twitch, very explosive. Those fast twitch muscles a lot of times allowed them to make people miss, but more so generated massive amounts of power. Although Wilder was not known as the defensive type of dude, if you watch his earlier fights, one of the reasons he didn't get hit is because he's very fast twitch. He could beat you to the punch, and in his own way could make people miss. Like, he didn't get hit a lot in his earlier fights. It wasn't just because, like, people always like, oh, he had that dominant right hand. Yeah, he landed the right hand without getting hit. A lot of it because, he had the definitely extreme size at 6'7". But at the end of the day, like, he could move a lot better than what people thought he could move. And at the end, and what it was about was just he was very, very twitchy. So if somebody went and tried to hit him in the head or whatever, he had that ability to quickly just get out the way real quick. It wasn't the pretty stuff that we see with the bobbing and weaving type of thing. He just could move and get out the way and then bam, land what he wanted to land. People have forgotten that during his younger career, Wilder did fight some decent boxers. They were, and a lot of them were boxers, not punchers, and they weren't very good at not getting hit by him or at landing on him. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons why he didn't get knocked down. But when you get up in age, you lose your fast twitch ability. You lose your reactions. You lose a lot of that. The only thing that he will probably forever have is that power. So at this point in his career, he's not going to be the same fighter. And I think if he wants to continue to fight, he has to get some tricks of the trade to try to maneuver to allow himself to be a little bit different. One of the things that he can definitely do is work on his feet, work on his footwork. Footwork changes quickness. You don't have to be lightning fast to have good footwork. He can consistently change the angles, which gives him a better opportunity for one at not getting hit, but also of landing his right hand. This is going to sound strange, but this is just me talking boxing talk. Another thing he can do is become a lot more active with his jab and his right hand. This is the thing that I saw from him, and I saw it against Fury, and once again he did it last night or yesterday. He gets in a habit of not throwing the right hand enough. I know everybody like, oh, that's all he has. Yeah, but sometimes when he's losing the fight, he holds it, and he doesn't throw it enough. When you have a bomb like that, keep a guy on the defensive, you know. Throw that boom, boom, boom. If I was in this corner, I would tell him sometimes just fire that bitch off 5 times in a row if you have to. But make this person understand that you're not going to fight freely. You're going to be in danger. I still have this if I don't have anything else. Then work your feet. You know what I'm saying? Work your jab. But I'm going to fire this motherfucker. It's coming. So the one thing about it when you have a heavy puncher is that I don't care who you're fighting. If you're fighting a heavy puncher, you know that this fight can be over in a split second. So you fight differently. If you notice and you watched the film yesterday of the guy he was fighting yesterday, he fought Wilder like he just didn't care. And one of the reasons he just didn't care is because Wilder didn't set up his right hand as a dominant weapon. Not that you have to hit it, you have to make people afraid of it. And a lot of that's going to come from changing angles and being a lot more active with it. If you're, you know what I'm saying, I know a lot of people try to criticize Wilder's fighting abilities and different things like that, and there are some technical things that he could work on. But if he can work on his footwork and set up a presence of that right hand being a threat to possibly set up other things, then it'll work. I've seen him hurt people with his left hand. It's a myth that he can only hurt people with his right hand. But use your biggest weapon, and you're going to get it regardless one day, but you have to use that biggest weapon to dictate the fight and then make small changes. He's not going to turn into Floyd Mayweather overnight. He's not going to be a totally different type of boxer. He just sort of has to tweak certain things about his scheme to allow him to adjust. One of the things that one of the guys who I think he can model some of his things after, not exactly the same type of fighter, but game plan wise, was George Foreman when George Foreman came back old. Because one of the things that Big George did, he knew he didn't have a lot of things left in the tank, but he knew he had that power. He knew he had that right hand. He knew that if I fight a certain kind of way, eventually I'm going to be able to time you up to land this punch. When you're a fighter like Wilder, that's what he was doing the whole time anyway. But now he just needs to change his method of lining people up to land that big punch, and also surviving while he's lining them up. It is things that he can do where he can maybe last another 3 or 4 fights and actually win, you know, some of these fights. He's always got a chance to win, but he's going to have to change his mentality, because he's at this point now where you're not the athlete you used to be. And regardless of what people try to sell you, being athletic, those small twitchy muscles that you know you used to get missed by a half an inch, now you're getting hit. You know, you have to adjust to that. You have to use angles. You have to use a little bit of technique. And like I say, it's not totally redoing the fighter. It's just small little things that he can do to make himself a lot more effective fighter, as being an old man fighter now. But I thank y'all for that question, man. Y'all know I love any opportunity I get to talk boxing. Until next time, God bless. Much love. Peace.